So I had 3 goes at day 9, light red. I think I've shown you one of them. And I had another go. Not sure which one you've seen, that one or that one. And then I thought, oh, this is a good opportunity to have another go at the Cardamili Tower, because it's one of my favourite paintings. Not that I've mastered it yet, but I had another go at that and it turned out horrible. So that's my 3 or 4 day 9s. And then day 10 was sap green. Oh. I think I must have missed that one because I must have got cross and got confused. Perhaps I painted the wall on sap green day. Then I quite like sap green though. Spicy was the next one. So I painted a chili. Didn't like it much. Didn't go very well. I think I had visitors as well, so I was talking at the same time. And then it was rumble, as in neutral tint. So I went back to my old favourite and I started to paint a Scott Swinson landscape because that's a neutral tint in there. But unfortunately, it all leaked underneath my masking tape. I obviously didn't stick it down firmly enough. I quite like the effect though, so I thought I'd leave it in and let you see it. And that's that one. Shadow Violet. Oh, this one was cavern. Now this was interesting. I found a picture of a cavern and the main thing that it seemed to do was the light coming in seems to wash everything out. So there was quite a lot of taking bits of kitchen roll and pulling the paint away. But then I got to the point where I didn't like it very much because it started to get very muddy and dark over here, so I stopped. But then I came back the next day and painted some greenery around the edges because I thought the cavern, it didn't really look much like a cavern door. And this picture I used was absolutely beautiful, and this looked nothing like it. So I think I get a bit discouraged when the pictures are gorgeous and then my skills aren't up to it. Day 13, cavern. Paint a tall or wide wash gradient, mix with rose forty violets. So I don't think I did that. I think I did some balls instead. And the goal is not to have them full circle or anything. The goal is to make nice soft edges where the 3 colours converge. So I did a load of those this morning. Then I thought I'll try with a different colour because I was getting a bit bored of blue and yellow. And I did it with blue and orange, and that was very hard. I think my most successful one here is that one. Yeah, I think that one's the most successful, isn't it, out of all of them? Is there a successful one here? I quite like the way some of these looked. I think that's my favourite one on that lot. So I'm practicing circular washes at the moment. Day 15 was dusty. I can't read that. Anyway, cobalt or buff for vintage tones. So I thought I'll paint a couple of books. Not massively impressed with how they came out. It was all right until I went to do the shadow. I can't seem to get out of the habit of trying to feather the shadows, whereas shadows are usually quite definite. So I need to work harder on that, but never mind. And then I went to day 16, which is Geode, Amethyst Genuine. So it said drop the paint on the paper, wet the paper and then drop the paint on it. And so I did that and then I let it all pull down. So I did the sky and let it all pull down. And I thought, oh, that's starting to look like a Scott Swinson sea. So then I painted across here and I just literally dropped it in here and let it all run down. You have to be very, very careful about mopping up around the edges. And then it was all looking rather lovely. And I decided to try and put a boat in it, which I don't know why I did that. Why do I do that? I could have just put the bird in. Or I could have put, what else could I put? I could have put a little pole in like they do for Venice landscapes and that would have been fine. But no, I thought I'll put a windswept boat on it. And then I realised that this actual makes everything, this is supposed to be a still lagoon or a still sea. So putting a boat on that's got a sort of sail that's obviously going the wrong way. And also the fact that the angle's all wrong, I just completely ruined it. But that was quite fun. I would quite encourage you to just drop paint onto the paper. I started off with a wash. I got about halfway down. I let it then do what it wanted to on wet there. Then I turned it up, dropped loads of colour here. And I mixed this amethyst myself, by the way, out of blue and red. And it came out quite nice, I think. But the boat ruined it. Still, I can also paint something on the back. Hurrah! And then today's day 17 and it was yellow ochre. The channel's growing really fast, which is really very gratifying, and not ever going to be a tuition channel. It's just my journey from going from clueless and never having picked up a paintbrush to seeing where we go with it. So hope you enjoy it, hope you're along for the ride, and I'll see you next week.